Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. In Beijing, downpours have triggered landslides and floods that swept away cars and destroyed roads. Typhoon Doksuri unleashed the heaviest flooding in a decade over parts of northern China. At least 11 people have been killed and 27 have been reported missing. Home to nearly 22 million people, the megacity evacuated more than 127,000. Most of the fatalities were reported from the western districts where downpours were far worse. The storm is the deadliest to hit Beijing since 2012 when floods killed 77 people. Experts warn that while China faces typhoons and heavy rainfall during the summer months, the frequency and destruction have been exacerbated by climate change. Recently, at a remote airbase in northern Australia, 3 Marine tilt-rotor Osprey aircraft, each carrying 18 U.S. Marines, took off and flew 700 miles into a town called Bloomsbury. The exercise is part of the U.S. military strategy for confronting China, which the U.S. believes is preparing for a possible invasion of Taiwan, the self-governing and democratic island that China claims belongs to them. After 2 decades of fighting land wars in the Middle East, the Marines are now training small, mobile, and hard-to-detect teams to set up temporary bases and move from island to island in the Indo-Pacific. The idea is for Marines to be pre-positioned or stealthily deployed to areas within the range of China's missiles, aircraft, and ships. That means U.S. troops would need to keep their electronic, thermal, and physical footprints low and be able to move fast. After 2 weeks of silence from Voyager 2, NASA has finally detected a signal from the interstellar spacecraft that is 12.3 billion miles away. Last week, NASA announced they lost contact with the spacecraft after accidentally sending a command that turned the spacecraft's antenna 2 degrees away from the direction of its home planet. While this might seem like a slight error, it has big consequences, as NASA said it wouldn't be able to communicate with the craft until October, when it would reposition itself. Now that the scientists know Voyager 2 is still broadcasting, engineers will try to send the spacecraft a command to point its antenna back towards Earth. Even if Voyager 2 fails to reestablish communications until fall, engineers still expect it to stay moving on its planned trajectory. On Tuesday, Overstock officially relaunched the Bed Bath & Beyond domain, but online. The company acquired the retail chain's assets after it filed for bankruptcy for $21.5 million in June. Overstock said earlier this year they would be dumping its name online and will rebrand to become the new Bed Bath & Beyond. Overstock's CEO, Jonathan Johnson, said the company has added roughly 600,000 bed and bath items since its bid for the retailer became public last month. Barbie and Oppenheimer might be good for theaters, but it's bringing out some bad behavior in theatergoers. Many attendees are forgetting the most important rule when watching a movie: never take out a phone during the film. Instead, people are picking out selfies to post, even taking pictures of the screen. Movie theaters aren't the only places seeing disruptions, though. At concerts, fans are rowdier than ever, screaming at artists and even throwing items. At Broadway shows, people have to be reminded to turn off their phones and let the actors do the singing. And now some movie venues are posting videos teaching people how to behave. Michael O'Leary, CEO of the National Association of Theater Owners, a trade organization, said, quote, "We always want to maintain the cinema as the special place where you shut out the distractions of everyday life and devote a couple of hours to a compelling movie," end quote. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Attention! Attention!
What's going on?
It's summer reading time!
Woohoo!
Build it.
Create it.
Unleash it. Express it.
Free it.
Find your voice this summer at your library with reading programs for children, teens, and adults.
Welcome back. With just 2 candidates running for mayor, the September 19th preliminary election won't be needed. According to Town Clerk James Casey, as of the July 28th deadline, incumbent Mayor Charles Kokoris and former Planning Board Chair Aaron Joyce are the only 2 candidates who have pulled and submitted papers. Both have enough signatures to qualify for the November 4th town election ballot. A preliminary election is only held when there are 3 or more candidates for mayor, with the 2 garnering the most votes going to the final election. Nomination papers are now available for other offices on the November 4th ballot. Candidates have until September 19th at 5 p.m. to acquire the set number of certified individuals. Braintree is set to receive nearly $1 million in funding that could help local roadway improvement projects. The Massachusetts state legislature passed a bill recently that includes $375 million in bond authorizations for transportation needs across the state. This includes $200 million for the Chapter 90 program, which provides reliable funding for transportation-related improvements like road and bridge repairs. The amount of funding each municipality gets is based on local road mileage, population, and employment. The bill has been passed by both the House and Senate and will now be sent to Governor Maura Healey's desk. The Braintree Town Council met on Tuesday, August 1st to discuss a number of topics. During the meeting, Planning Board Director Melissa Santucci-Rossi gave an update on logistics from previous talks of possible breweries, the movie studio, and an entertainment hall. Here's more from Santucci-Rossi.
As noted by the President, Melissa Santucci-Rossi here on behalf of the department and representing the Planning Board this evening in their recommendation to the council as well. What I'd like to do is briefly cover the amendments, and then I can answer any questions that the committee may have. So as noted, we did go to ordinance and rules last week and discussed the application that was submitted to the town council on May 23rd. And essentially these amendments, while they're noticed as 3 separate orders, they essentially contain definitions for the following uses, which is production studio, brewery with tap room, brewery production, and then we have function and conference facility as well.
Historic New England, in partnership with their public library and the Braintree Parks and Recs Department, introduced a new 4-week program for kids called Arts in the Park. The 4th and final event in the series, Sometimes People March, will start at 10 a.m. on August 14th at Sunset Lake, where kids will have story time followed by crafts and a story walk. If it rains, the program will move to the children's room at the Thayer Public Library. Those looking to recycle mattresses or box springs are now required to call Capital Waste before pickup. Due to post-COVID safety and new state disposal requirements, residents must bag the mattress they are throwing away. Bagging is to ensure more sanitary handling and protecting mattresses from foul weather issues. Braintree residents are entitled to a discounted bag cost of $5 per bag, and bags are available in queen and king sizes. For those hoping to purchase a mattress sanitary bag, you can buy them at the Braintree Town Hall Treasurer's Office, Water and Sewer Offices, 85 Quincy Ave, and Richmond Hardware. Always check with the store you purchased your mattresses and appliances from for free disposal options. For any questions about mattress recycling, head to braintreema.gov/recycling. The Nelson Chin Summer Concert Series at Sunset Lake is in full swing. The concert series is sponsored by Mayor Charles Kokoris and the Braintree Electric Light Department. Every Tuesday until August 8th, a new band will be featured at the gazebo on Sunset Lake starting at 6 p.m. Curra's Fancy, Studio 2, Gainesville Road, Forever Fab, Wolfpack, The Reminiscence, and Gina Mark already took the stage. The last and upcoming show features Magic Moments on Tuesday, August 8th. BCAM TV is covering the Nelson Chin Summer Concert Series, so just tune in to our public channels, Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 28, Verizon HD Channel 2128, or catch it all on youtube.com/BCAMTV. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. On Wednesday, August 2nd, a jury returned a guilty verdict against Alyssa Delamano on the charge of first-degree murder. Delamano, who was convicted for the murder of Cameron Nomi, began shouting at the juror's box as court officers gathered around her and her counsel. In 2020, the defendant stabbed Nomi twice and severed an artery, which caused her to die. After her outburst, court officers placed restraints on Delamano's wrists and ankles and let her out of the courtroom. Since Delamano had to be removed, sentencing and impact statements are now scheduled for the morning of August 8th. Eastern Nazarene College, located in Quincy, will be the state's second site for the Family Welcome Center. The center was designed to connect immigrant families and others experiencing homelessness to social services and shelters. A dorm on campus will serve as a temporary shelter for up to 58 families and will be overseen by the shelter management firm Ami Expeditionary Healthcare. The center will be run by Bay State Community Service and other state agencies. The first center opened at the Brazilian Worker Center in Alston in late June and served 550 families as of July 27th. A Boston man has been charged with fleeing the scene after striking a Randolph police cruiser that was stopped to assist a broken-down motorist. The officer was responding to North Main Street at about 8 p.m. on Saturday, July 29th, to assist a vehicle that ran out of fuel during the weekend storm. Randolph Police Chief Anthony Marag said in a statement, quote, "While assisting the disabled vehicle, a 2014 black Jeep traveling northbound crossed over the double yellow line and struck the stopped cruiser. After striking the cruiser, the vehicle fled the scene and continued driving northbound," end quote. Detectives were able to locate the vehicle near the registered owner's address. The driver turned himself in the following morning. Nia Wilson, 60 of Mattapan, who was principal of the New Mission High School in Hyde Park from 2006 to 2019, has been charged with wire fraud. Prosecutors say she requested checks in the names of other people and then endorsed those checks to herself and deposited them into her own bank account. Prosecutors allege that she took about $38,000 from school funds between September 2016 and May 2019. Wilson allegedly used the money to pay for all-inclusive vacations to Barbados for herself and her friends. Acting United States Attorney Joshua S. Levy said, quote, "We will not allow this type of gross abuse of authority and responsibility to fly under the radar. Individuals who take advantage of public trust to line their pockets will be investigated and held accountable," end quote. Wilson has agreed to plead guilty and pay restitution. It's official, Cape Cod is one of the world's largest hotspots for great white sharks. According to new research from the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, UMass Dartmouth, and the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries, it's been determined that about 800 white sharks paid a visit to Cape waters between 2015 to 2018. The study shows that the shark population peaks on Cape Cod around late summer and into early fall when ocean temperatures are the warmest. The researchers identified 393 individual white sharks from almost 3,000 videos during 137 research trips conducted off Cape Cod's beaches. Experts say these findings make it clear that shark safety and education programs are important for the public. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Steps to keep yourself and your family safe from ticks and the illnesses they can cause. Use EPA-approved tick repellents on your skin and clothes. Read and follow the directions. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot a crawling tick. Check for ticks on yourself, your kids, and your pets anytime you've been outdoors. Some tick bites can make you sick, but finding and removing a tick properly makes it less likely. Call your doctor if you start to feel ill or notice a rash near the bite. Play it safe when you're outdoors.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now, here's some of the top entertainment news this week. First up, Angus Cloud, breakout star from the HBO series Euphoria, died on Monday, August 1st at his family's home in Oakland, California. Cloud was only 25 years old. In a statement, Cloud's family said, quote, "Last week, he buried his father and intensely struggled with this loss. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and should not fight this on their own in silence," end quote. Next, Paul Reubens, the comedian who was best known for his Pee Wee Herman character, died on Sunday, July 31st after a private battle with cancer. He was 70. In a statement released on Instagram, the family announced his passing and included a quote from Reubens himself, which read, quote, "Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years. I have always felt a huge amount of love and respect from friends, fans, and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you," end quote. And finally, in entertainment, singer and musician Lizzo has had a lawsuit filed against her. 3 of Lizzo's former dancers filed a lawsuit against her on Tuesday in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing the Grammy Award-winning singer and the captain of her dance team of creating a hostile work environment while performing concerts on her special tour this year. The lawsuit said the dancers had been, quote, "exposed to an overtly sexual atmosphere that permeated their workplace, which included outings where nudity and sexuality were a focal point," end quote. Lizzo took to Instagram days after the allegations came out with a message to her fans denying the rumors and calling them sensationalized stories. Her dance captain has yet to post a statement. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Constantinides, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.